Good afternoon fellas, welcome to This Month with Striker, a monthly news show where I'll be recapping all of the news and drama coming from the indie community over the last 30 days. And today we have plenty to cover, from an immensely hyped animation series finally airing online, to a certain rap battle YouTuber ordering softcore porn of the protagonist from said show. I'm talking about you, Verbalase. Now speaking of shows, let's get this one on the road, shall we? Let's begin. Towards the end of January, rumours began spreading of a brand new FNAF game that was on the way, and we had very little knowledge of the game or anything about it until a trailer was leaked, unveiling one of the best looking FNAF games in the entire series, and it is called FNAF Into The Pit, and is based on the Fazbear Fright's book of the same name. Now let's review the story really quickly, shall we? Now the story follows a young boy named Oswald, who we can actually spot in the trailers for the game, and his friend moved away, right at the beginning of the story, which prompts him to have nobody to hang out with all summer. So he begins hanging around a pizzeria called Jeff's before discovering a strange ball pit that was barricaded off, which has the power to transport him back in time, or as we are told, although I believe it's more of a hallucination on Oswald's part. After going inside the ball pit, he finds himself in a busy arcade area, where he finds a memorable golden rabbit who lures him backstage, where he sees 6 dead children. This horrifying sight prompts him to run back to the ball pit and emerge back in the present day. Once he leaves the pit, he finds Jeff, the owner of the restaurant, and his father, who are angry at him for hiding, but almost immediately after Oswald emerged from the pit, the bunny followed through and pulls his dad into the pit with him, which is something we can actually see in the leaked trailer for the game. It is also revealed that the bunny seems to be an image of Oswald's imagination, as only he can see anything wrong, as his mother doesn't point out anything strange, and neither does Jeff. But a few days after the incident, Oswald goes back to investigate the ball pit and finds his dad unconscious inside, when the bunny attacks again, revealing that it's some sort of organic creature, and it unhinges its jaw, running at Oswald, who manages to trick it into hanging itself above the ball pit, killing it. He then wakes up his dad and they leave as if nothing was wrong, which is a very strange ending. But this game is going to retell this story in an amazing 8-bit art style, as shown in the trailers. But I personally hope we get every single FNAF book remade as a game in the future. But this one in particular is for a very special occasion, as later this year, FNAF becomes 10 years old, and this is Scott's official 10-year anniversary to us. Now for our first topic on the chopping block, we have some news on our upcoming movies from our favourite franchises, Bendy and FNAF. So as of right now, the story for the second FNAF movie is being created and drafted, which was confirmed by Josh Hutcherson himself in a recent interview. For those who don't know, Josh Hutcherson is the one who plays Michael in the FNAF movie. Now the Bendy movie news is less exciting. It's not a release date, it's not any form of the script being done, it's just the fact that Mike and the Meatly will have confirmed that unlike the FNAF movie, the characters will actually be menacing and scary, similar to how they are in the games, not comparable to the high school girlies at the sleepover. Sorry FNAF. But in other news, a big indie animated show called Hazbin Hotel, which is a show that takes place in the same world as a popular show you might have heard of called Helluva Boss. And this is another big topic from this month. After 4 years in development, it officially released on the 19th on Amazon Prime and A24. Just shortly after a small controversy with a YouTuber called Verbalase, who went fucking bankrupt by paying 50k to an animator to develop some softcore hentai of the Hazbin Hotel's protagonist, Charlie Morningstar, as she chases him through the city before kidnapping him and tying him to a bed. Bear in mind, the man had a wife beforehand. But one question I've been asking is, if he paid that much for the animation, why would he not get the full scene? What a silly little fellow. But in more news about Verbalase, he used to do a show which I believe is called Comic Book Rap Battles that used to be massive hits on YouTube, and he decided to quit out on that and move to a new channel, which today garners about a millionth of the success he got beforehand views-wise. And he also developed this animation, which is basically Charlie Morningstar from the show Hazbin Hotel giving him a striptease, which caused him to get heavy backlash on websites like Twitter and YouTube, with lots of videos being made on the topic already. And mostly it is just people laughing at him for basically inserting himself into a hentai with a fictional character. But I think there's gotta be some of this footage that we haven't seen leaked, cause there ain't no way he paid $50,000 and didn't get the full measure. But moving on, a game called Lethal Company began to explode in popularity towards the end of December last year and towards the start of the month, with many TikTokers recreating a Fortnite dance called the Boogie Down with some music's installment in the series called Bendy the Cage officially becoming available to wishlist on Steam. Genuinely, I am excited for that one and will definitely stream it when it comes out. Alright, our next topic was a true pain in the ass of Disney, which I'm sure we can all find enjoyment out of. Remember that old Steamboat Willie animation from so many years ago? Well, as of January 1st, Mickey Mouse became public domain, and it took fucking 3 days for the absolute vultures to pick at it. And we got 2 horror movies announced, which I think will be as much of a train wreck as the Winnie the Pooh ones last year, and a fucking Cuphead ripoff. That is so unbelievably terrible, I might play it as a joke video. Like, fucking look at this. Oh my goodness. Why is everything else black and white except for the PNG guns that were taken off of the internet? Like, if you're going to make your game objectively worse and harder to play by making everything black and white, at least go the full measure and make the guns black and white too. Please. But moving on, in sadder news, quite a few YouTubers have sadly quit in the last month. And one of the ones that hits hardest for me and most of the FNAF community is our good old pal Ness from the FNAF movie. Wait, no, MatPat from Game Theory. Now, he is officially leaving the Theorist team on March 9th, I believe. It's around that time anyway, I'll put it up on screen if I'm wrong. But this is a major hit, especially in the indie gaming community, because this man is one of the main reasons why Five Nights at Freddy's is as popular as it is today. And I'm going to be honest, I watched MatPat when I was young and naive, and now there are kids who are just discovering game theory now and being indoctrinated into the insanity of theorizing about games. Now, there is one caveat about MatPat leaving, and that is the fact that he is only leaving as the host of the channels, meaning that all of the Theorist channels will get their own new and unique hosts. Now, we are completely uncertain of who these hosts are yet, but it's likely it will be other people that we recognise from the Game Theory team. Now, I'm sure they'll all do great, but we should probably take a little look at previous examples of YouTubers passing on their channels and how poorly it's gone in the past. For example, Smosh is a major example. It went incredibly downhill after the main cast left. But we'll be hoping for the best for our pal Matthew Patrick and the Game Theory channel. Now we're going to be moving on to our second to last big topic, and that involves a few mascot horror games that released last month, such as Muzy, which had controversy due to its main character looking like Huggy Wuggy on 5 ounces of the Devil's Dandruff. For those who don't know, Huggy Wuggy is from Poppy's Playtime, and this character is very clearly plagiarised. But other than that, it does look like a bit of a Garten of Banban ripoff with some nicer graphics. We also saw a new mascot horror game that, believe it or not, was fucking unique, which is so rare in today's time, and the game is called Finding Frankie. And with its unique parkour mechanics and more detailed environments, I would not be surprised if this became a big trend online like Garten of Banban last year. Now, we have our last topic for this month, which I actually think is very funny. Now, bear with me here. The Russian government are officially investigating Skibidi Toilet for being a threat to children, and to be honest, I can agree, that shit is brain rot. I tried to make a video on it and I couldn't sit through that absolute brain rot for more than 10 minutes. But best of luck to the actual creators of Skibidi Toilet for escaping the Russian government. Alright, just some last minute news that came around as I was editing this video. We have 2 more topics, and one is a response from the creator of the crappy Mickey Mouse Cuphead ripoff game, about the criticism he received, and basically he tries to garner pity points by making it look like nobody expects anything from him, but in reality, look at the game trailer that was released. I'm convinced everything in this game was stolen from different stock images, so obviously I expect nothing from this man. Also, a new game called Pal World, which is basically Pokemon with guns, and is currently skyrocketing in popularity online, but I am officially out of topics for January. But before you click off, I want to make this a series in the future every single month. So I'm opening the floor to you. Send in topic suggestions to do with the indie space that can be with games, animations, controversy with other creators. Email it all to strikerpublic@outlook.com. I swear to God, if someone uses my public email to make a fucking Roblox account again, I'm going to lose it. Set your email topic to LMWS, which is basically just last month with Striker. And then suggestion after that, then give me details about the event. This can be through links to sources, pop some images in there, and then just basic information about the topic. And I'll be reading them every single week, and if I find a suggestion that I like a lot, then it may just get its own standalone video. But anyways, that is all from me tonight, folks, so make sure to like and subscribe and tune in next month for the next entry in this series and next week for a brand new video. But have a good night, everybody.